Off with the Shabbos classic, a bim and a bomb. You don't need to know any Hebrew for this one. Yeah, it's a little bit of both, a bim and a bomb. So here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm Rabbi Matt Shapiro. It's lovely to see you. Good to be here. I have a simple question to get us started. Why are we here right now? Yeah, I know. It's Shabbos, says Lisa. You're right. But so what? Meaning, what's this all for? What's this whole thing for? Right, I was told to be here. Some people have to be here. I know that. But I think it's important, at least once in a while, to pause and ask ourselves, when we get into the routine of doing something, what this is actually all about, what the point of this is. And the good news is that this week in the Torah, we are actually told very clearly what this is for. So that's very convenient. How wise of me to ask that question this week. This week is a big Torah portion. It's Parshat Yitro. We get the 10 Commandments at Mount Sinai, and one of those big 10 is, of course, when we are told about Shabbat. And one of the hallmarks, one of the key elements that is stressed multiple times when we are first told about Shabbat is that we are supposed to sanctify it. It is supposed to be something that is holy. And holiness, holy, is of course a word that can be defined in a lot of different ways, but consistently and across the board. When we talk about holiness, one of the aspects of holiness is connection. That holiness is about connection. It's about a different type of way in which you operate in the world that brings you closer to someone or to something or a capital S something that is different from the way things usually are. That's what this is about. And we forget that. We forget that that's important. You know who forgot that was important? Moses forgot that was important. And we were told that earlier on in the Parsha this week when Moses, he's schlepping along, that's what the Torah says, he's schlepping along, and he's meeting with person after person after person after person. People coming to him, fetching, Moses, resolve this dispute, that dispute, the other thing. And his father-in-law comes along and says, hey, Mo, what are you doing? Moses says, I'm schlepping along. I'm telling the people what to do. His father-in-law tells him, you got to cut it out, man. And he uses a very particular kind of phrase when he tells Moses to stop doing what he's doing. He uses the phrase, lo tov asher ata osa, right? He says, lo tov, it's not good. And that phrase, if you're a kid and you're in Hebrew school, you might hear lo tov all the time because it means you're misbehaving, so I heard that a good amount. But that phrase, which is a pretty common phrase, it only shows up one other time in the Torah. And that goes way back to the Garden of Eden, when God sees Adam, and Adam's all alone, and God says, lo tov hayot adam levado. It's not good for man to be alone. And God then creates a partner, a helpmate for Adam. And then Adam and Eve, they do their, whatever, it's a whole nother story. But the point is, when we talk about then in turn what goodness is connection. But we forget, and then we need to be reminded, and that's what Shabbat's for. And that's part of why I'm here. Because I need that connection. And I think, for at least some of you, that's part of why you're here, because you need that connection. My friend Lee over there, who I haven't seen in a very long time, when I saw her come in and I got to give Lee a hug tonight, that's Shabbos. That's what this is for. Yes, it's about the prayers. Yes, it's about the music. Yes, it's about the rituals. But those are in service of something bigger. So I want you to sing, and I want you to pray, and I want you to dance, even if you don't usually like dancing. I want you to try, but all of that is in service of cultivating holiness, which is ultimately about connection. And that's a big part of what I get to rejoice in when I'm here with you, and I hope that you will in turn get a nice heaping dose of that as we celebrate Shabbat here together tonight. Shabbat shalom, everyone. And to help us welcome in the Holy Shabbat, I'm going to invite up our birthdays, David, Amber, Joe, and Josh, to come up here and light the Shabbat candles as Cantor Nate sings the blessing. Come on up, guys. We're down one. Go for it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner להדליק נר של שבת.
We're told that when we welcome in Shabbat, we welcome in angels, we welcome in that holiness, we celebrate that holiness, and we're going to continue with singing Shalom Aleichem.
All right. We're going to do this in a different vibe tonight. We got a special rhythmic guest. Eagle. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yesharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malchi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borachem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malchi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yesharet, Malachi Hamlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bakuni leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malchi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malchi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yesharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malchi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borachem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech Malchi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bachuni leShalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
That was a great vibe. I love that. woe is me. There is a time and a place for that, and that is important. But tshuva is a way of life. It's a way of being in the world and responding to the questions that your life is asking of you, responding to your life with integrity, and returning to the person that you want to be in this world and that only you can be in this world. So if there is tshuva that you have to make because of something that you have messed up, or if you want to offer gratitude and appreciation to cement the way that you are currently living your life, now is a wonderful time for you to come up and share that with the community. See a hand from way downtown. Come on up.
Hi, I'm Brenda, a grateful resident of this beautiful community. 5 months ago, I was in a dark place and I could not stay sober for the life of me. I was smoking crystal meth, and it was all that I thought my life was going to be. And now that I've realized here that I matter through the life-saving work here at Beit Teshuvah, I am now running for the LA Marathon, and this is something, honestly, that I want to say from the bottom of my heart that I never thought that I would ever be doing in my life. And I get to do it now because I have found safety, I have found refuge, and I have found love within this place. I've committed to raising $900, and so far I've raised $250, but I need your help. Please find me after the service at the Holo stand, and your donation will not only help to rebuild my life, but the lives of so many others. Thank you.
Wow, okay, give me a second. Sorry. All right. I'm James. I am a grateful member of this community. Yeah, get the wiggles out of me. Okay, thank you. I kind of had this metaphor that I always put in my addiction, so I just kind of wrote a little story. Wrote a letter. I'm gonna try to go on it if I stop shaking so much. Thanks. All right. When I got to BTS, I really wanted something. When I got to BTS, I really wanted it. Something inside me knew that this place was special, and I needed to get. And somebody told me that this place was special, and what I needed at the time to get my foot back in the door again and have another shot at life through this trial and error of this horrible addiction that I suffer from. For those of you that don't know, I tested positive for anabolics, performance-enhancing drugs known as PEDs, and the horrible name that seems to classify someone in a very bad way that I really feel ashamed of, steroids. The disease of addiction is a dis-ease that centers in the mind, where and how I went wrong to give myself permission to be sneaky and move forward on my actions behind BTS's back. I can only simply put it like this, and here's the metaphor, it's funny. I picture a stack of papers on each side, one on the left and one on the right. One says rationalization, the other says justification, okay? And I write all my reasons on each stack, on each side, of why I should rationalize and why I should justify. And then I combine them together, the justification and the rationalizations together, and I make a beautiful book just like this, and make a big stack, nice and neatly, nice and organized, and I grab a big red stamp that says approval on it, ready to sell myself the beautiful idea to move ahead on my actions. And that's the disease in my mind of how it has worked through many years of addiction and most of my problems in my life and most of the way I've landed into this beautiful place to this very day. And if I had a time machine or given the chance to be told that I was being tested for this and suspicion was on me, and I was offered an on-the-spot moment to make shuva, to make things right then and there, I would have definitely chose right, and I would have either maybe done it that day or the next day, But I know deep down in my heart, the person that I am and the love that I have for this place, I would have done it eventually for sure. Just stop. To stop the cycle and this crazy story I was going on, and possibly give another chance to use my spiritual bank account and the integrity that I had for this place and wipe it clean and owe in debt to BTS of never making the same mistake again. I truly feel horrible that it had to all come down to this. But here we are, and here I am with the community that I love so much, and a community that loves me so much. I'm deeply sorry for everybody that I know, to everybody that knows me. And that this chapter and my time here won't end in vain, but only have a beautiful success in the end, clean and sober, with a future life ahead of me. I'm sorry, Russell. I'm sorry, Lisa. I'm sorry for everybody that I lied to for 4 months. I don't know where it took me. I can honestly say that the love and everything that I had for this place and for the kitchen, I never thought I was going to land in the kitchen. You know what I mean? It was just something that just like happened, and I like did it effortlessly. And I love doing it. Tim, if you're hearing me, I love you, man. It didn't even feel like work. I lived in gratitude every day. But did I, you know? I don't know. I feel like I did. I still do, you know? And I really hope you guys forgive me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Steven. I'm a grateful member of this community. I first and foremost want to say that I love BTS and I'm very grateful for this place. However, that's not why I'm up here. I'm up here because I broke the rules. I've been breaking the rules for some time, and I kept it a secret. I lied to my whole clinical team about that, and I've been lying, and it all came to a head this week, and for that, I'm truly sorry. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dora. I'm a grateful member of this community. I need to apologize for everyone because I've been dishonest, especially to my treatment team, but all of you, and I'm really sorry, and I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be honest now. Thanks.
All right, I'm Nate. I'm a grateful member of this community. I'm going to be very quick. I have gratitude for my wife, Sarah. This is actually 3 years ago, our first date tonight. So I remember it fondly. What? Really? Oh, beautiful. And both Sarahs. How about that? Yeah, pretty cool. And your presence here is always greatly appreciated. I know you have a lot going on, and there's a hill/mountain in the way of services on Friday, but people love seeing you here and connecting with you. So, and thank you, Judy, for being here as well, and Joanna. So, grateful to all of you. Thank you so much. Goodbye, Shalom.
What are we doing next, Canner?
We do this every Let's do it.
I'll just say that we get the opportunity when we're here to go through some really big experiences with people. And sometimes that's great joy, and sometimes that's real challenge. I remember when I started working here, it's when Brene Brown, she's like a superstar now. I was reading Brene Brown before it was cool. And humble brag of the night. And I started reading the book, and I was like, yeah, whatever, it's not that good. And Harriet like basically cussed me out. She's like, you think you're so smart. It's true. You think you're so smart. Just read the book. And I read the book, and it's a great book. But one of the things I remember very clearly from that book is that Brene Brown says you can't selectively numb. If you try to numb yourself from the bad stuff, it means you're going to numb yourself from the good stuff too. And so when we come into this place and we hear the fullness of people's experiences, that's actually a gift, because it means we get to take in all of it, and that helps us to be present, and that's something to celebrate as we join together with Mizmor Shir.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, וזמר לשמך עליון, וזמר לשמך עליון. That's right.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. We're going to community.
Woo!
That's right. Who do we have this week, Rabbi?
Yeah, she took the thing from me, but we got three. We got Nicole L, we got Milo M, and we got Adam Y.
All right. Please come up to the bima. And I also need the help of the birthdays: David, Amber, Joe, Josh.
Hey, man, what are you doing? Side your head. All right, we got, if you're new,
There she is.
right here in the middle.
Thank you.
birthdays, you're going to go over by the canner, right? Yeah?
All right.
Canner, new folks over here.
On the count of 3, we're going to do some responsive reading. So you can lead us on. The count of 3.
What? Reception of new members.
That's it. There you go. Next slide there, Raymond. 1, 2, 3.
May the door of this house be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for fellowship.
Welcome all with cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this house be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy, and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or strange feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May this house be for all who enter the doorway to richer and more meaningful life. Amen. All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much for that assistance. And you helped each other out so nicely there. All right. We're going to introduce the newest members of our community, and then we are going to say a prayer, and then we are going to send you on your way with some words of encouragement and revelry. All right, is what I like to call it. Yeah, revelry. All right, here we go. Community, this is
Nicole.
Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you have come, be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Nelech. Beor Beshem Adonai.
Let us walk together in the light of the divine one. All right, community, this is
Milo.
Milo. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Nelech. Baruch. Beshem. Adonai.
Let us walk together in the light of the divine one. Welcome. Pleasure to have you here. All right, everyone, this is
Adam.
Adam. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai. May you who have come be blessed in the name of the source of life.
Nelech beor b'shem Adonai.
Together in the light of the divine one. Welcome. All right, before we send them back to their seats, we're going to send you off with some words of encouragement, like we said. So I think we witnessed it. The 3 of them, they helped each other out. Dave didn't even really join in on it. But he was still up here. He was still present. He did his thing, you know. He was still a part of. And you guys helped him through it. And we said a blessing and a prayer together. What a great thing. So this is it. We don't do anything anymore on an island by ourselves. You know, we place ourselves there actively, you know, on a forsaken island with no one else but the thoughts in our own mind. That's a dangerous place for us. So in this new way of life, we have many people, many exterior stimulus to change our stupid mind and thinking, because it's necessary, especially moving forward, because our mind is going to play tricks on us. It's going to say, it's too hard, or I'm not worth it, or F it. That applies to anything in life. We can utilize those messages and those narratives, and it's going to be really present and strong at sometimes, or we can do one thing in those moments. One thing is, hold on. Sometimes you got to just hold on. And those thoughts, feelings that, you know, really strong pull back to our old way of life and old way of being, and those habits that, you know, kind of sweep us up out of our own control, you know. It's difficult. but we have each other. So what a blessing. Invite them in with, as I said, much revelry and applause as they head back to their chairs. Thank you. We're going to hear from the birthdays later. What a blessing.
Thanks, folks.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Canada, we just welcomed in some new residents. What do you say we welcome in some Shabbos?
That's right.
Let's do it. Continue with Lecha Dodi.
Here we go. Yeah, you go. Let's do it. Lecha Dodi. Likrat Kala Pene Shabbat Neka Bela Shamor Vezachor Bedibor Echad Yihi Shmiyano Elcham Yuchad Adonai Echad O Shemo Echad Shemo Tiferet Velitila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Likrat Shabbat Lecho V'necha Ki Mekorcha Bracha Merosh Mikedem Nesucha Sof Ma'aseh B'machshava Tila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Kitoreri Kiba Orech Kumi Uri Shidaberi Kevod Adonai Alayik Nigla Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. If you are able, please rise and face the doorway as we welcome in the Shabbos Queen. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam besimcha v'tzola to kemune am segola boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Canner, I'm going to move things around down here. I don't like the way this looks. Is that okay? That's okay. I'm going to move things around. So we just told you guys to sit back down, but it's Jewish calisthenics. So stand back up. Sorry to this folks doing the slides. We're gonna go into the Baruch Hu. As we have welcomed in Shabbat, we are fully ready to immerse ourselves in our prayer as candidate leads us in the Baruch Hu.
Lai la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 yai la lai 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 yai la lai 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 la lai 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 yai la lai 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 Yai lai 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 Baruchu et Adonai Hamevorach Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Hamevorach leolam vaed Hamevorach Hamevorach leolam vaed Baruch Adonai Hamevorach leolam vaed.
Seated. The next prayer we're going to say the Shema. It's a very simple prayer. It's just 6 words. But it's asking of us something that is actually much easier said than done, as most things are, which is that it's telling us we need to listen. That we need to listen carefully, that we need to listen thoughtfully, that we need to listen mindfully. Most of what we are told to do as Jews, there's questions about how much intentionality you have to bring into it. And the rabbis say that with the Shema, you have to bring your full intentionality, your full attention to really listen carefully to the voice of God out there in the world as we mark this week, and just as much, maybe even more so, the voice of God within yourself, as we recognize God's oneness, the oneness of everything in the world, as we cover our eyes and we join together to say the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ve'avta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam ve'shivtecha beveitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech u'shokbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam ne'ot ayadecha ve'hayu letotafot beineinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha.
And as we recognize that we are all connected, that there is a deeper oneness, we recognize that when we are present with each other in moments of joy, that we can all share in joy. When we are in moments, Canner, this is me. I'm going back. Canner, I'm going back to the Misha Berach now, but don't tell anyone, okay? Okay. Seamless. We get to share together in times of joy, and also when one of us is sick, when one of us is ailing, when one of us is in need of healing and recovery, we also take that on as a community as well. So in a moment, Candidate is going to lead us in the Misha Berach prayer, but before he does, I'll invite everyone just a moment to put out the names. God and God of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for Mother Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, we ask for you to please give a full and speedy healing to. Please put out the names of those you are praying for. God, may you grant them a full and speedy healing, a healing of body, a healing of spirit, and may it happen now, and we say together, Amen.
Mi sheberach Avoteinu Avraham Yitzhak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel veLeah Hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim Elna Rifana la Elna Rifana la Elna Rifana la Elna Rifana la Mi sheberach Avoteinu Avraham Yitzhak veYaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel veLeah Hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim.
Amen. So I'm a lot of different things. I'm not a detective. I'm not a logician. But something tells me, based on how services have gone thus far tonight, that it seems like it might have been kind of a rough week here in the house. Tells me I might be right. And I think there's a lot. Look, I pop in once in a while. I don't work here full time anymore. I don't know all the ins and outs, right? And I know every circumstance is a little bit different. Right? But there's also some similarities when stuff like this is going down, right? And I think sometimes when we act out, sometimes when we make bad decisions, not just if you're a resident of Beit Tshuva, it's because we lose sight of the way in which we impact other people. That it's not just about us. That it's not just about our impulses, that it's not just about what feels good right now, it's not just about what do I feel like doing right now. That by virtue of the fact that I am in this world, I inevitably have obligations and responsibilities to the people around me, which can feel heavy and frustrating, and maybe even like something I don't want to deal with at all. But it's there. And so then there's a question of, well, how do I deal with that? How do I reconcile myself with the fact that this is happening, and what do I do about that? How do I navigate this, if we can ask this question? How do I navigate this with integrity? What does this mean? What does it mean to be in relationship with other people? And is that really true? Why does it have to be that way? I've been talking a lot about it already. Parshat Yitro. Rabbis love talking about it. We do. We love talking about Yitro. It's very exciting. 10 Commandments, lots to talk about. And there's an argument among the rabbis. No, did we really hear all 10 commandments at Mount Sinai? To use my most stereotypical rabbi voice. Quick aside. When I came home after my first semester of rabbinical school, both my parents were like, why are you talking like this? People don't talk like this. Why are you? Well, Mom, you know. No, terrible. They hated it. Look out. Some say they heard all 10 of the big 10. Some said that what did they actually hear at Mount Sinai? That the Israelites only heard the first 2 from God, and Moses gave them the other 8. And some say, what did the Israelites hear at Mount Sinai? Exactly. Nothing at all. Because they just heard the letter Aleph, and the letter Aleph makes no sound at all. What the actual does that mean, rabbis? That's not helpful. But good news, I have some helpful visual aids for us. I'm very excited about this. Visual aids for the sermon. Here we go. There we go. Ah, very good. This is my sophisticated artwork. I spent hours on these. Okay. I also brought them in case I got my, okay. So here we go. This is one of my favorite rabbinic texts. I love it so much. It's really weird. I made it much shorter than it actually is. Sarah's going to kill me. We're going to be okay. All right, here we go. This is what an Aleph looks like. Okay? And Rabbi Naftali Tzvi Horowitz says what? This hints at the face of a human being. Because the 2 eyes, right? So it's like here. There, to there, to there. So it's like 3 parts, okay? The 2 eyes are the 2 smaller bits, and the nose between them looks like a vav, okay? So these are the nose. Bob looks very confused. Hang with me, Bob. No. That was me showing you. I'm like breaking it apart, so you understand. This is like A to B to C. That wasn't clear. Okay, well, it's my first time experimenting with this. We'll do better next time, okay? But so this is your Aleph right here. This was the whole revelation. That was it. But if you break it down a little bit, you wind up with the eyes and the nose. It's Jewish, so it's big, right? You wind up with something that at least somewhat resembles a face. What does that mean, Shapiro? You're making less sense than before. Okay. Here's what he says. When we were worthy to stand at Mount Sinai and we heard the voice issuing the letter Aleph, we heard and we saw that letter because it's a phrase. We're losing the thread here. Here's what I'm going to say. Thought number 1. At Mount Sinai, this is all we got, the letter Aleph. Who cares? So what? Because the Aleph, it's a face. Go with me on this. Take that leap of faith. The Aleph is a face, okay? We're good. But if that's true, if you're with me on point number 2, what does that mean? It means that godliness and revelation is present on the face of each and every single person. Godliness and revelation are present on the face of each and every single person. If that's true, that calls upon you to act in the world in a very certain kind of way. It doesn't mean you got to like everybody. It doesn't mean that people get a free pass just because they're godly and you're godly, so we all get to do it. That's not what that means. But it does mean it obligates us, all of us, to a certain level of responsibility to each other. That's what the revelation means. But here's the kicker. He also says that in this moment of revelation, they all saw, the Israelites all saw and understood that this was also the form of their own faces. It's not just everybody else. It's also you. You hold within yourself, every single person in this room holds within themselves godliness and revelation. In some ways, oftentimes, it can be easier to believe that about other people than about ourselves. When we slip up, when we make a mistake, you're not just doing a disservice to the responsibility that you owe other people. You're doing a disservice to the responsibility you have for the godliness you hold within yourself. One of the most famous lines in the Torah is V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, that you should love your neighbor as yourself, you should love your fellow as yourself. And as I'm sure many of you have heard before, that's actually not one commandment, it's actually two. Because it's not just you should love the other guy, it also means you got to love yourself. And if we take seriously the thought that love is an action, that you have an obligation to take care of yourself and to take loving action to make sure that you are okay and you are able to show up in the world in integrity, bringing forth the revelation and godliness that you hold and only you hold. It's not easy. And it might not even seem fair. That's a lot of responsibility to hold. I get it. I have mornings I wake up and it feels like too much. I really get it. And you got to do it. Because you are in this world for a reason. Every single one of us is in this world for a reason. And part of the way in which we can honor that gift is by being mindful of the fact that you can think of Shapiro's crazy-ass drawings up there. Right? This was revealed to us centuries and centuries ago. Not those drawings. Those are terrible. But the truth that was revealed to us centuries ago and that still holds is that I hold a piece of holiness in me and you hold a piece of holiness in you. And the challenge and the blessing that every single one of us walks in this world is that we have to and get to and need to show up in our lives in a way that honors that blessing and that challenge today and tomorrow and always. Shabbat shalom, everybody. That was kind of a wild ride there. I got lost in my pink drawings. That was, we got there eventually. All right, but now, Canner.
Yes.
Yeah? Are we doing that little ditty or are we going into birthdays? What's the plan?
We're going to do the little ditty.
We're going to do a little ditty?
Yeah,
do a little ditty.
I think it relates to what you're
It
speaking
totally relates
about.
to what I was saying. Absolutely.
I think in order to do that, you have to be able to see things a little bit clearer.
I think so.
All right, here we go. You guys ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had made me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of those bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that have made me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Basically the same as what I was saying. If I could hit those notes, I would have just sang that. I wouldn't have done the drush. I would have just done that. Same idea. All right, my friends, we are so blessed that we get to celebrate some birthdays tonight. Call them up. Call them up. Come on. Come on. Come on. They coming up?
Yeah, come on up.
Come
Let's
on
hear
down.
David S. All right, Dave.
I'm Mayor Dave. I'm a grateful member of this community. It's been like a spiritual boot camp for me here the last 11 months. I'd like to thank Angel, the cook here. The last night I was here, he invited me into the kitchen and had me taste the food to see if it was too spicy or not. It was a great honor. I'd like to thank the music department, Ted, Laura, Cantor, Nate, and Max. I'm a piano player, and I didn't play the first 4 months I was here. I had no self-esteem, and they got me out of my shell, got me in the recording studio, got me on the stage, loaned me a piano, and I'm very grateful for them so much. I'd like to thank my treatment team of Counselor Katie, my therapist Mary, and Cantor Rebecca. Without them, I wouldn't have the tools to carry on outside of Beit Teshuvah. I haven't been perfect on the outside in the last 2 weeks, but I listened to a lot of Ram Dass and Alan Watts and worked the 12 steps. I'd like to thank the community. That's most important to me here, is what I got out of Beit Teshuvah, is so many people. And that's why I became the fake mayor, because I didn't have a job and I needed a purpose. They wouldn't let me be a PF. I understand why. But I bribed the PFs to become the mayor. I gave them a lot of Celsius and sushi and stuff. And I really got to know all the new people. There's like even been some new people since I've been gone the last 2 weeks. I'm getting to know them. And it just makes me want to come back and be more a part of this community. I'd like to thank Tom G. for taking me through the first 3 steps for 3 months. He's the graveyard PF. Without him, I wouldn't have a God to my own misunderstanding. I'd like to thank just a few friends. Krista, the receptionist, Mark Ferrandelli, who's a PF here, my buddy JP, Tim, and Ethan, and Amber. They've helped me through my hard times and my good times. I'd like to thank Mikkel. He got me a job. I haven't worked in years, and I take care of a 54-year-old Down syndrome man that won the Special Olympic gold in weightlifting. He has pictures of himself with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he gives me great joy to be with them. We have lost 5 residents in the last 11 months since I've been here, and I knew all of them, and this disease will kill you if you do a relapse. It's taken me 14 years to get this year, and I'm not going to lose it. I like to close with something my mom would say. What you are is God's gift to you. What you become is your gift to God.
In fairness, it was a great mic drop. I mean, all right, Dave. My friend, this says Gevurah, this says strength. You've got strength, brother. Keep it up. Keep your recovery going. Stay strong. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. We're grateful to have you as a member of this community.
Thank you. Amber G.
My name's Amber, and I'm a grateful member of this community. This is really cool. Yeah. So there's alternative sentencing. Janet showed up for me in court. Because of her, I spent the last year here instead of county jail. Tammy picked me up. The girl I came in with that day, that Tammy picked up me and another girl, and she's not with us anymore. Yeah. And then there's Jamie, who's my counselor, and Nikki, and Glynis, my sponsor. She's like, I just get a sponsor, because I've been trying to do this for 10 years. And with yoga and meditation and Ram Dass, like to this day. But the steps, and I hated AA, and I'm finally in it and doing it with this woman who blows my mind. And that book it was written 90 years ago, and this white man, this banker white man, if you have the right person break down that book, he explains me, a girl who smokes crack and heroin, and it's crazy. Just find the right sponsor, somebody who can make you understand that first step and walks you through it. And anyway, I'm so grateful for these people and this place and Tammy and alternative sentencing. I don't know if alternative sentencing, you guys do so much. I really would have spent this year in county jail or in Pacoima at some weirdo program, so thank you.
We're glad you're here. We're glad that you got to spend this year here instead of in county or a weirdo program. This says Tiferet, which is beauty. So that's for you, and I hope that today, this next year, and moving forward, you will find the beauty within yourself and see the beauty in the world. Happy birthday. Up next, we got Joe L. for 8 years.
Hi, I'm Joe, grateful member of this community. My daughter was crying before, and she dropped some things, and I was sweeping out by the table there, and I remembered being here. My sobriety date is January 28th, 2017, thank God, and Cameron was in the house with me, and I remember, I was on the floor sweeping her crackers or whatever, and I remembered 8 years ago, somebody switched the TV channel, and I decided to physically assault them because that was the life skills I had then, right? I came in here really a broken man. You know, a lady came up to me and said, "Do you remember me?" I said, "No." She said, "I did your intake," and it's emotional being here. And I come here and it's this kind of the same speech every year for 8 years. Thank God, just my life gets a little bit better every year. And I came in here, I also alternative sentencing, and I couldn't look up at the person interviewing me. I couldn't string together a sentence. You know, that's how broken I was from just in and out of programs, jail, shooting heroin. I was a broken man, right? And I came in here, I connected to, I latched on to a counselor who I just spoke to yesterday. He's in New York. And I latched onto the right people. I learned how to be a man. I got the life skills that I needed. Like Amber was just saying, you know, beautifully, is I tried this many different ways, you know, and this time I came in with one simple plan. I said, I'm going to try it their way for 6 months. I'll do the steps. I'll listen to everything they say because I've been to treatment maybe countless times. And if I'm not happy at 6 months, I'll take my life with a needle. That was the plan. And needless to say, you know, I have many accomplishments in my life. My biggest one is my wife and my 2 girls that I have, and the life that I built. But last year I spoke here for my birthday, and a resident came up to me after and asked me to sponsor him, and he's finishing his steps now. And it's just, this is the beauty of the program, and it's, you know, it's hard for me to get here with 2 little kids, and I had to reschedule 3 times, but it's so important for me to come back. I was, and to any donors who are watching or are here, I was scholarshiped here, and that's really, I'm forever grateful, and I try to give back to this place as much as I can, but thank you.
I'd forgotten about the... Yeah. So this, perhaps fittingly, this is chesed. It says here kindness, but chesed is deeper than that. It's like a loving kindness. So I hope that as you take this for this year, that this is a year filled with chesed for yourself, that you hold that kindness for yourself and the people in your life, and that you experience that loving kindness from the world for all the good that you're putting out into it. So
Amen. Amen.
right there. All right, Josh, 9 years. Come on up.
Hello, everybody. Josh, alcoholic and grateful member of this community. It's hard to go after all you guys. Happy birthday, Amber, Dave, and Joe. I think that you guys actually said pretty much everything that needs to be said. You know, I like what Amber said about the steps. I think that's for sure. Coming up on 9 years, I actually was thinking a lot of where I was 9 years ago to start this journey on where I'm at today. And I was actually thinking about, I was driving through America, across state lines, living the life that I thought I wanted to live. That, you know, I think that every alcoholic or drug addict wants to live with the drugs and the money and everything. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I had a spiritual hole, and I felt empty inside. And with everything that I thought that I had, I knew that I wasn't happy, and I knew that that wasn't the life for me. So I decided to get sober, and I went home, and I got sober, and I still had the job and the apartment and the girl and the money and everything, and I thought that I'd, like, beat the system. And at 30 days sober, I went to work, and the federal government came into my work and decided that they were going to take everything that I thought that I had. And at 30 days sober, I ended up going to jail or prison. Well, I went to jail, and then a year later, I got sentenced to 14 years in federal prison. So at that point, well, before that point, I decided that I was going to stay sober, and I stayed sober, and talked to Beit Teshuva again. This is my 3rd time here, and like Amber said, alternative sentencing, Carrie and Janet and Tammy made sure that I had a place to go when I got out. And that was 8 months ago. I haven't done anything perfect. Like James was up here saying, I also owe the house Shuva. You know, I also was a part of the PED thing, and so for that, I'm terribly sorry to the community. You know, there was rules I knew I was supposed to follow, and I didn't follow them. That's not the only thing I've done that hasn't been perfect. That's the only thing in the house. But in the last 8 years, there's been other things that I've had to apologize for and take back. You know, I haven't been by all means perfect, but I've stayed sober. I've made amends. I've corrected my errors. I've done a 10-step. I've done what I know I needed to do to be able to stay sober and to live the life that I'm living now. So to cut to where I'm at today, I just started a job with the same producer I was working for the day the federal government came and arrested me, which is pretty weird. I never thought that would happen. And like, my life's terrific today. I mean, thanks to Beit Teshuva, thanks to my sponsor, thanks to the program, and thanks to God. And so that's it. Thank you. I never know what I'm going to say.
That was beautiful, man.
Thank you.
This necklace says Bina, which is, it says understanding, but it's like a really like deep level of understanding. So
Am I supposed to understand?
no, well, it's aspirational. Okay. It's aspiration. I mean, look, man, you've been through the ringer, and just this year and moving forward, just hope that you continue to get to a deeper sense of understanding and appreciation for the good in your life, and we're grateful to have you as a member of our community. So, all right, folks, come on up. Birthdays, come on up. If you're here with a birthday, you want to support a birthday, come on up. We're going to sing to these folks and celebrate them for a sec.
Gather round. Don't be shy. All right, give them access to the cakes. Amber. Come on, Amber. Where's Joe? Oh, being a dad.
He's being a dad. That's important.
Fair enough. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Dave, Amber, Joe, and Josh. Happy birthday to you. Keep coming back sober.
Announcements?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, we have many amazing things happening in this community. We have Shabbat sponsors. In celebration of Joe Leibowitz by Anonymous. So thank you, Anonymous donor. And thank you, Joe. If you would ever like to sponsor Shabbat, speak to this lovely woman over here, Sarah Jacobs. Or Simon or Cameron, you know, anyone that happens to be around and works in that department. We have a comedy show. That's right. Put on by our sisterhood. And a gentleman that I went through the house with, who I saw him earlier this evening. He's here somewhere. Mr. Cameron Weir will be our host. And then he's bringing back a group of his friends for a comedy show that they are doing annually now. So that is on February 22nd, and there's a suggested donation of $25. So please come and join in that. We have a LA Marathon team like Brenda spoke about earlier tonight. The Gilberg Family Running for Recovery team. Run/walk the marathon with Beit Teshuva, or support the team by making a donation at runningforrecovery.com. Okay, so you can support the runners by bringing your phone over to those QR codes over to the left, as Rabbi Matt is graciously doing there. And also Simon is also the one who's in charge of our marathon team. So great job, Simon. All right. We have a spotlight this week on Dwayne.
Yeah. It was really good. It was really good.
It's
it was
very
really
entertaining.
good.
It's a very interesting part of our community and employee here.
Great.
And let's enjoy that. I have yet to. Oh, yeah, that's right. Written by our own Jesse Solomon, who's taking the night off. Well deserved.
Well deserved.
All right. Thank you all so much for a wonderful service. Thank you, Rabbi Matt Shapiro.
Thank
for being
you,
here.
Cantor Nate. Thank you to all of you for being here. Thank you to our wonderful band. We're just about wrapping up at services. Before we wrap up, we of course need to pause. We are blessed to be here together to share the Shabbat together. We also know that there are those in our community who are mourning. The Beit Shuvah community offers its sincerest condolences to the family and friends of Jason Ribikoff. We are also tonight marking the yahrzeits of Edna Ostfeld Blumenfield, Luke Ulm, Marlene Kremer, Saul Block, Marshall Licht, Nathan L. Gordon, Paul Selwyn, Ivy Libras, Stephen Herr, Barbara Levy, Paul Rovin, Samuel Goldman, Lizette McBride, Bernice Bender, Irving Sass, Joseph Browner, Ryan Copald, Al Unger, Maria Villalobos, Stephanie R. Coleman, Steve Rosen, Eleanor Karchmer, Jack Flynn, Lucas Simon Foster, Natalie Hall, Reuben Cove, Arnold Palmer, Brian Kaufman, George Horn, Yale Hare, Darren Fond, Reza Niken, and if there are others who you are remembering tonight, if there's anyone you're saying Kaddish for, whether you're in the year of mourning or marking your site, I'll invite you to please stand up, and as I come around, you can share the name of the person that you are remembering tonight. As we remember them, we say, Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael bagala uvizman kari v'imru amen Yehi shmei rabam varach leolam omei omaya Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmeid kudsha brecho Le'ilam min kol birachata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma v'yimru amen Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imromav. Oseh Shalom Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'imru. May the one who grants peace in the heavens grant us a measure of peace and wholeness here on earth. And we say together, Amen. May their memories be for a blessing. I'm going to say one thing, and then we'll wrap it up, which is somebody there's actually a couple of guys who I worked with who are on the yard site list tonight, which is, of course, hits home in a couple of different ways. But one of them, Paul Roven, right? But he was a woodworker, and he helped make this podium, right? There's a lot of his work is still present in this space. So it's painful and it's sweet to remember him. And along those lines, what I'll invite you to think about is we'll sing one more song and we'll say the blessings and we'll say Shabbat Shalom. You never know what's going to be the thing that's going to stick. You never know what's going to be the thing that lasts in terms of how folks remember you, in terms of what you remember about someone else, or what you take away from an experience. So what I'll invite you to think about as we sing Oseh Shalom is, we've been together for about 90 minutes or so, right? There's been it's quite a journey we've had along the way here tonight, my friends, right? But there's been folks, some real tears, some laughs. We've been singing, we've been dancing. So pick one thing. Pick one thing. Something you heard, something you saw, a tune that you thought was cool, somebody's smile that you saw that caught your eye, right? I got to grab a hug from a really cute baby when we were doing Lecha Dodi. That was awesome, right? But just pick one moment. Pick one moment. Pick one thing you want to hold on to. Something you heard, something you felt, something you experienced. And have that be the thing that sustains you through this Shabbat and into next Shabbat. Have that be the nourishment. Have that be the peace that gets you through whatever may come, because holding on to those pieces, that's part of how we can do this deal together. Okay?
Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Oseh Shalom bimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Oh, oh, oh,
Amen. Please rise as we we conclude our services with Kiddush and Hamotzi.
All right. Thank you for all the support it takes to put on our services, Mr. Max. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Jay. Aaliyah. Thank you, Rabbi Matt. Thank you to the wonderful band I get to play with every week.
Thank you, Cantor Nate.
Thank you for coming. 2 more prayers. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, y'all.